So this video is going to be an introduction to mean, median, and mode for later this week. So we're going to use this concept in class later this week that's really going to help us understand especially the mean, which is the average of a data set. So my first question in here is, let's find the number that's equal distance from two numbers, and let's do that using 10 and 20. So I want to find the number that's in effect in the center of 10 and 20. Well, if I have a number line, one thing I could do is I could count from 10 moving rightward and count from 20 moving leftward, and every time I move one I could make a mark and then move the same amount in the other direction, right? So if I move 1 over here, then I'm going to move 1 over here. So I move from 10 to 11 and from 20 to 19. Now I'm going to move inward 1 again and inward 1 here. And keep going until I find the center. Inward 1 and inward 2 over here. Or inward 1 as well over here, excuse me. Inward 1, inward 1, and then inward 1, and inward 1, and I end up copying this one right here, meaning that 15 is the center of 10 and 20. Now that's something you probably knew, but I showed you a way to think about solving it. Okay? However, 10 and 20 are pretty easy numbers to show on a number line. We want something much quicker that we can do, especially when we have larger numbers. So for instance, if I wanted to find the middle of 60 and 100, okay, what would I do? Again, you might be able to know that, you might know that off the top of your head, but I want to show you a way to do it without using the number line. So let's look at this first as an example, and then we'll go to 60 and 100. Well, one thing you can do is you can add the two numbers on the end that you started with and then divide them in half. Or divide by 2. So 10 plus 20 is 30, and cutting 30 in half or dividing by 2 equals 15. That was much easier than setting up a number line and moving inward by the same amount for each number until we landed on the correct spot. Okay? So, let's find the center of 60 and 100. If 60 is over here and 100 is over here, what we can do is add them together, get a sum, and cut that in half. 60 plus 100 is 160, and 160 divided by 2 equals 80. Okay, so 80 is in the middle, is equal distance from 60 and 100. Okay, it's right in the middle. Let's do one final example. Let's find the center of 68 and 114. Well, that's 68 plus 114. You might have that off the top of your head, but just in case you don't. 4 plus 8 is 2. Bring up that 1. 1 plus 1 plus 6 is 8, and 182. So what we get is 182 divided by 2, and 182 divided by 2 is 91. So this one you can see would have been much harder to do with a number line, 68 and 114, and then moving inward until you hit that center point. This calculation makes it much, much easier. Okay. So we're going to use this concept a little bit later this week in class, so keep in mind the idea of finding the center of two numbers. And eventually we're going to find what's sort of considered the center of multiple numbers, more than two numbers. Okay. So that concludes this video.